Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano, and I'm a chef on a mission. And Jamie, you have some fan email, a fan email to read.
I sure do. It was from the Food and Wine Fest demo that you had done in Rhinebeck.
Yep, so Hudson Valley Food and Wine Festival, which is over 10 years old, very successful wine festival in the Hudson Valley.
Featuring all New York State wines.
Yes.
Usually the beginning of September every
Yes.
year. So, Marcus, I just wanted to tell you that out of the 3 chef demos I saw, yours was by far the best. Your passion and knowledge for what you do shines through. Even though I live in Wappinger Falls, I can't wait to visit your restaurant. I know it is definitely worth the drive. Can you please email me with the name of the oil you use, as I have forgotten it already? Thanks for a great demo and sharing your knowledge, Carl.
Excellent. So the oil that I was using probably to cook with?
You were talking about Expeller Press,
yes.
canola oil, and avocado oil, and
all
the
these different
oils,
kinds
yes.
of oils. So his question is, I use the best oils to cook with, and really it's avocado oil, macadamia nut oil, coconut oil. Those are the best oils to cook with, and I have a video on that. Specifically, if you just do a search through my YouTube channels, I have the best oils to cook with. Somebody else asked me in the crowd that day, how's canola oil or cottonseed oil and all these other oils? You know, if you were out in the wild and foraging for food, you wouldn't eat cotton. You wouldn't eat canola or rapeseed. So, you know, those are oils that if you wouldn't eat it, I would avoid it, right? So
Marcus, you do a lot of chef demos.
I do a lot of chef demos, I do a lot of public speaking.
And this guy obviously felt that you were the best out of the 3 chefs that he saw. What makes you so special and makes your demos very special compared to other
What makes me
chefs?
different?
What makes you different?
What makes me different from other chefs? That's a great question. So right behind me was Peter Kelly, the famed chef from H2O, Xavier's. You know, he has a great restaurant group. He has the highest rated Zagat restaurant, in upstate New York, and really an acclaimed chef. And he was right behind me. So for this person to say that I was intense and passionate and had the best demo that day out of all 3 chefs that presented, that's an honor, especially going against Peter Kelly like that. So here's what makes me different. I'm an encyclopedia of knowledge. Would you agree with that, Jamie?
I would definitely agree with that. And many people have said that to you in the past couple of
Many
days.
people have said that to me. In fact, recently just a celebrity chef told me, you're an encyclopedia of knowledge. So when I look at ingredients and I look at food and my food style, it's about analyzing everything. I'm for real food, and a lot of other chefs are for real food too. But they don't get as intense as I do. I'm very intense with every single ingredient. If I can find a better ingredient, quinoa's great, right? We all know how great quinoa is. My goal is to find the best quinoa. And how do I find the best quinoa? I go visit the farm. I talk to the farmer. I find out what's going on. That's how I do it. So when I can tell these stories about my experiences on the farm, talking to the farmers, about researching to get the best food. And not only is it about the best food, Jamie, it's about the best cooking methods.
Right.
How to respect the food once we get it. How to preserve the nutrients. How to maximize the enzymes if we can. How to keep the food in its whole form. How to add other foods that will complement the nutrition of it. So I take the whole spectrum of everything, and then I also add in supporting local businesses and independent businesses. Because a lot of chefs will just buy something from Cisco or US Foods or buy a health food from a big international conglomerate, because these big companies are into making health foods too. And for me, that's not acceptable. It's about doing real business with real people, whether in my community or in a community in Italy, France, Bali. So it's about working relationships, doing business with real business where they're making a difference in their communities and maximizing the nutrition, the cooking methods, and looking at everything. And Jamie, I've been doing this for almost 15 years, this method of cooking. And it's a very intense method because at our restaurant, we just can't buy food just to buy food. When a salesman walks in to sell us something,
we ask a lot of questions.
We ask a ton of questions. And it's not just about saying, oh, this is a cheap price or this is a better price. No, everything in that ingredient has to check out. It has to pass my rigid standards of if I would personally eat it. And Jamie, a lot of my speeches I start off with a confession. What's my confession? I was killing everybody in this room. I start off and say, I was killing everybody in this room because of all the GMOs and the pesticides and the way food is farmed and the way we just don't respect these other communities, like chocolate production in Africa, where they use young boys to go out there and pick chocolate instead of going to school. You know, this isn't right, and our dollar shouldn't go to that. And when you come to my restaurant, your dollar does not go to that. Your dollar goes to real farmers, real communities, people that are making a difference, whether they're distilling vodka or they're growing chocolate or whatever they're doing. And that's how I get so intense. So that really makes a difference in my presentation. I'm just not saying, oh, take some olive oil, put it in a pan and brown the chicken off and then, you know, add your garlic and this, that. No, I explain why I'm using it, what I'm doing, and the science behind it, because I want to inform everybody. So that's really the big difference in me, Jamie.
Question for you. What do you think other chefs think of you?
That's a great question, because I know Peter Kelly heard me speaking, because I was on microphone, and I'm sure he heard me getting intense and very passionate and very intense and detail orientated, and realizing that, oh my gosh, maybe I'm been making a mistake on some of the food I've been doing, or the way I cook, or the oil I use. And that's natural. A lot of chefs, you know, when I get in front of them and talk to them, they either do one of two things. They either turn me off because they
don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear it because they can't do it and they don't know how to do it, and I'm showing them things. And some of these are veteran chefs that are been cooking for 20, 30 years, 40 years, and they have successful restaurants. And they're kind of realizing, wow, I've been misled. So they turn me off because I don't want to know any of that. I don't want to know any of that. And then other chefs, like just recently, you know, one of these celebrity chefs called me an encyclopedia of knowledge, and I've learned so much from you. So it goes either way. You know, chefs can either absorb the information from me and learn a lot, or they can realize, wow, you know, I can never do what he does. And I'm not sure if it's jealousy or just that, well, he's just a little crazy and I don't want to do that and I'm going to turn him off. So it goes both ways. I think how chefs respond to me. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah. But you know, any of those chefs out there, if you want to learn, go on my blog. I got a great blog, chefonamissionblog.com, and just scroll through and find out my point of view on food. And I'm here to educate. I'm here to educate anybody. I'm here to help. So I love teaching people. I love talking. But I'm going to keep rambling on, Jamie. I'm going to be intense. I'm going to be passionate. We're going to keep learning every day here, because that's what you and I do. We investigate and we learn and we find out and we get better options.
Absolutely.
So I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit like, pass it on, share the video, share the knowledge. Thank you.